Hi guys, it's attorney Terry S. Herron, your Georgia family law attorney, and I wanted to talk to you today about an exit strategy if you're thinking about divorce. This is very important. You would not buy a house without some planning. You would not build a house without some planning. You wouldn't just go in the kitchen and start putting together some kind of meal that you've never done before without some kind of planning, some kind of prepping, without having everything in place. So it's no different if you're filing for divorce. You gotta have a plan. And a lot of times we don't have plans when it comes to this. Now I get it, maybe you're the one that's responding to a divorce. So you didn't really have a plan in place. But if you're thinking about filing for a divorce, you need to have a plan in place. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to give you 11 steps. 11 steps to take when you're getting ready or even thinking about a divorce. Number one, make sure you get all of your financial documents. I mean, I'm sure you have financial documents all over the house, bank statements, insurance, information. Start gathering all of that stuff because it's going to be very, very important as you go through the litigation process. So make sure you start gathering important documents. And here's the thing about those important documents. I would make sure I gather those so my spouse doesn't have access to that. I would take those to work with me and just put them in a safe spot at work, or if you want to open a safe deposit box or just a small storage where you can keep these things in, but you don't want to keep them at the house. They're going to come up in court. And so maybe it was something, not saying that you need to be hiding anything, but something that you didn't want to come before the court. Now, all of a sudden, you don't know where the document is and you get to court and now your spouse is like, hey, here it is right here. So make sure you start gathering all of your important documents. And not just for that reason. Of course, you need to know what your insurance plan is, what your medical insurance is, all of that. So start gathering those documents. Number two, we got to protect our information. I get it when you guys are all in love. You guys have the same password. You guys have the same email address. You guys have the same bank account. But at this time, it's time to start making these things private. So no, you don't need to have the same email address. And in fact, you need to go ahead and change your email address if your spouse does have your password. Because guess what? If you change your password, that's going to be a red flag to your spouse. Oh, what is this person doing? Why did you just change your password? So make sure you're making things private. Even with your bank accounts, I would start changing those things. I would actually change my bank account, and I probably wouldn't bank at the same bank that my spouse is banking at. I would go to a different bank because you don't want the bank that you guys are banking at to inadvertently let your spouse know that, hey, oh yeah, there's a new bank account. You don't want that. So go ahead and open up a new bank account as well. All right, in the meantime, do not try to, and this is one of the biggest mistakes people make, do not try to transfer property, get rid of property, oh, let me empty out my 401k. It's gonna come back to bite you. Do not do that. And it's 2018, so it's 2018 as of recording this. So, if it's further, then there are more advanced things. But as of 2018, there's not much that you can really hide. I mean, everything has an electronic footprint, a paper trail, so you definitely want to make sure that you're not giving your sister the house or transferring certain property or let me transfer $10,000 to this bank account. I mean, that's easily shown, okay? All right, the other thing is you guys want to make a projected budget. Now, before, there may have been two incomes, who knows? But at the same time, we're separating homes. So you need to make sure that you know how much it's going to cost you to live separately. If you're going to have the children with you, you need to know how much it's going to cost you. Especially, let me just say this, especially for those who may be asking for alimony. You need to know how much it's going to take for you to live separately, how much you bring in if you bring in anything, and then what the difference is. So If you actually are asking for alimony and you have a deficiency, then you definitely want to have some kind of idea that you can give to the judge as to how much you're needing for alimony, okay? All right, now is not the good time or the best time to go and accumulate more debt. Make sure we're not accumulating more debt. And let's make sure we're definitely not doing it to be malicious and think that, oh yeah, we're just gonna stick our spouse with the debt, because the judges could end up sticking you with the debt because you did that. You know, it's all marital debt as long as you guys are married, but it doesn't mean that that person is gonna be 100% responsible for that debt. So let's not accumulate new debt if we can avoid it. Let's make sure that we're paying down debt. Let's make sure that we're not accumulating new debt that is going to cause us some problems while we're going through the divorce process, okay? All right, so you want to make sure, if you have children, that you are staying active in your children's lives. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I'm big on that. I get it. You guys may not be together. You may say, well, listen, I'm not looking for primary custody. I'm looking to be the secondary, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the other person or the spouse having primary. But that doesn't mean you do a disappearing act when it comes to your children. Make sure that you maintain that relationship. Make sure that you're making it an easy as possible transition for your children. Stay active. Still go to the chess games, still go to the track meets, still show up at, if it's the church, you know, make sure you're being active in your children's lives. They didn't ask for this divorce, and you don't want it to make it seem like it's their fault. And they're already going through things by even knowing that there's a divorce. So let's try to maintain some kind of normal behavior or some kind of normal routine for the children, okay? All right, so a lot of people get this wrong. Listen, I don't care if your spouse agrees to keep you on their health insurance. Once you're divorced, guess what's gonna happen? Your spouse is gonna be dropped, or you're gonna be dropped from your spouse's health insurance. So now is the time to start researching to see what's available for you out there. What kind of insurance, medical insurance, is available to you? Now, COBRA is pretty expensive. But if you're needing something after you divorce, COBRA may be the only option that you have. Very expensive. It allows you to stay on that plan for a certain period of time, but it's very, very, very expensive, okay? So start researching some kind of medical insurance for yourself. All right, in the meantime, if you're asking for custody, if you think a custody battle is going to be happening in this divorce, then you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping notes, that you're keeping some kind of calendar. I normally tell my clients, hey, keep a calendar, especially if you're separated, keep a calendar of the days that you're seeing the children. We want to do that because we want to show the judge that, listen, judge, hey, if you look at this calendar, I'm spending half the parenting time with my children, so therefore I should have half the parenting time. It's been working without any kind of issues, so you want to make sure you do that. Even if you're the person that's saying, listen, my spouse has seen these children since we've been separated 2 or 3 times, put together a calendar so that you can easily show the judge that. You're not going to remember all of that on the witness stand. You're not going to say, oh, back December 1st, that's the only time they saw. You're not going to remember that, okay? So start making a journal or keeping a calendar. You can easily print out a blank Google calendar to use, and you can mark that. So if your spouse has only been seeing the children 5 times out of the month, then you definitely want to bring that to the attention of the judge, because now your spouse is going to be asking for all the parenting time or maybe primary, but at least you can say, listen, judge, look at this calendar. We've been separated for 9 months and my spouse has only seen the kids 5 times out of the month. He or she shouldn't have primary custody. I'm the one that's normally taking care of the kids, but have that in place. Same thing with other things. You need to keep some kind of journal. If you are the one that's paying all of the bills, or if you're the one that you can't pay the bills, but your spouse is paying off certain things, you want to keep a journal as to who has been paying what. Trust me, these things will be helpful for you if you're on that witness stand and this is at issue, okay? All right, the next thing, you definitely have to plan for your future. I get it. That's what you did when you got married, right? You planned to be with this person for the rest of your life. Well, stuff happens and you're going through a divorce and it's not easy. Trust me, I know it's not easy, but at the same time, we still have to make some kind of plan for our life. So what are you gonna do? If you're the person that didn't work during the marriage, are you gonna go back to school and get some kind of degree, some kind of certificate? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna move out of state, go back home to where, if you were from Illinois, you're gonna go back to Illinois where you have a support system? Now is the time to start planning those things, okay? All right, here's the very important thing. Don't do this on your own. You need the advice of attorneys, okay? Make sure that you are seeking out advice from an attorney. We would love to have you, but we're not for everyone. So make sure you're getting with a good attorney, and don't you dare go in that courtroom without an attorney. I get all the time people calling and asking, do I really need an attorney? And I'm gonna give you a biased answer. But at the same time, I may not be the attorney for you, but you definitely need an attorney if you're going to court, if you're divorcing. You're only looking at what's happening right now. As divorce attorneys, we anticipate the next few years. There are some things that we can anticipate that you cannot anticipate. You don't know what's gonna come up, but we already know because we're experienced and we've seen these things happen time and time again. I get a lot of people that go through the divorce process. Maybe they did a settlement agreement and, oh yeah, we did a great job on that. We just printed out the documents online. And then 5 years later, they're running into an issue with the documents that they thought were all good, but because certain things they did not anticipate. You may have put in there, we're gonna refinance the house. My wife is gonna be awarded the house and she's gonna refinance it. And then you never accounted for the fact that if she can't refinance the house, what's gonna happen? We already know what we can do. We already know, oh, okay, if she can't refinance the house, what we'll do is we'll make sure that it goes on the market. We already anticipate things like that. All right, make sure, if it's conducive, to speak with your spouse about the divorce. If you think there's a chance that this could be uncontested, talk with your spouse about the divorce. See what he or she wants out of this. You guys may be on the same page. See what that person is wanting out of the divorce. Don't just jump into, hey, it's automatically gonna be contested. I know they're gonna fight me on this. See if they're willing to give up certain things, if there's some compromise there. Even if you guys don't agree with everything, at least that's narrowed down, the things that you guys have to have a judge decide on. And so if you do have an agreement, then yeah, you get with an attorney. We draft these things up for you properly, anticipating things that you can't anticipate. So again, don't try to draft your own settlement agreement or print something out online. But make sure that if you think we can have this conversation, that I speak with my spouse about this. Of course, you're not gonna have this conversation when you guys are angry. Maybe you set up a dinner date. Maybe you set up something to where, hey, the air is clear and listen, I wanna tell you, I don't think this is working out. What do you think about a divorce? And the next question should be, what is it that you want out of this? And then you should be able to articulate what you want out of the divorce. You never know. You guys may be on the same page. All right, I'm attorney Terry S. Heron. You're a divorce attorney, and I have a lot of great information for you, and we are here to serve you. So if you want to set up an appointment, definitely give us a call. Set up an appointment with us to come in to talk about moving forward with your divorce. Thanks so much. Have a great day.